Morning to all. Thanks for joining this webinar conducted by your university. So today we are actually standing in a position there with a lot of anonymous messages, anonymous mails, and a lot of new apps are getting downloaded and shared by the team. So we found even today morning I wake up with the message that I'll share with you. That is a funny message sent by one of my friend who received this. It's all at the time of COVID they are doing. The workers who worked between 1990 and 2020 have the right to receive the benefit of 1,20,000 from Ministry of Labour and Employment. Check if your name is in the list of the people who have rights to withdraw the benefits. So they have given a HTTPS site. Okay, in that if you are entering into that, it takes your permission, a lot of permission from the apps. Okay, so once you continue with that, you will end up in a big trouble. And I tried and I came back because I am unable to came back because it leads to another gaming site. So this kind of lot of messages, applications, links are being shared now at we all at home, and we are more spending more time with our system, mobile. Okay, so the hackers are very smart and they are very active now. When we are passive, they are become very active. They are actually doing a lot of innovative things at the time of COVID. Okay, so now we have to be very careful while we share or download or enter our personal details into some unknown applications. Okay, so that is being circulated by the social media. Here I would like to inform the hackers mentality keep on changing every time. Okay, so when they are getting situations like this, they use this as a what you call golden opportunity. Okay, so when we are in the trouble, somebody is trying to help us, definitely we will fall in that. That is a mode they are using. So we have to be careful. So the methodology and the techniques which is here they are using for several years, that will go for another 20 years also, the same technology. So today I am take you through this technical point where different types of hacking those people are doing, basically on cybercrime. Before entering into that, I'll introduce myself. My name is Subhash Babu. I've been in this field of cybersecurity for last 11 years. So I was part of the one of the first and oldest cybersecurity firm in India. We had a collaboration with MIT Boston and IIT Delhi. So my major job was that time was training and development. Okay. So then I have been with several organizations like Kerala Police for 3 years as a deputy commander in Cyberdome. And then I moved into CATS, Center for Advanced Training Security, that also coming under Kerala government. Now I am part of NCDRC, looking after Kerala as a National Cyber Defense Research and Resource Centers here. So apart from that, I am director of Appin Technology and also director of ATL Education Foundation. Those serves most of cybersecurity courses alone. So my job is training as well as development. Okay, so I'm not a hacker, but we must know hacking. Then only we can secure the people. So I'll take you through different types of hacking techniques, but that is only for educational purpose, not for trying to some other people. If you are doing, that will be crime. And before moving into technical side, I would like to tell you in Kerala, if you say I'm representing Kerala. Kerala, every day minimum 15 to 20 cases are reported to several cyber police stations, because here every district have a separate cyber cell and the cyber dome, cyber police station, everything is there. So when you are reporting most of the cases to these places, to the police will be very active. So if you are not reporting on time or you are reporting very late, then the difficulty for finding out the culprits. So now we are moving into one by one that what cyber security is going on. So cybercrime categorized as two portions: cyber computer as a target and the computer as an instrument. So you can understand when you are using a computer to do a cyber crime, that is coming under the computer as an instrument. When you are using a computer and targeting another computer or any system, any network, that is called computer as a target. So these are the weapons of cybercrime which we are going to see today. So these are basic things, but still they are all using the same technology for doing cybercrime in a different ways. Okay, only the ways has changed, but the basic technology all same. Even in 2010, with the technology they are using in phishing or sniffing, spoofing, and all, the same thing they are doing, but using some social engineering techniques to make you become a victim. That is the thing. I think hope you can understand. If you want, if you can't follow, I can talk in Tamil also. I know Tamil very well. So please inform me through the chat. Okay. So these are the things today we are going through. So if you have any particular requirement, you can share in the chat. And if I am not audible, please inform me. Okay. So keylogger, phishing, sniffing, spoofing, and financial fraud using different techniques, and Facebook hacking, then Android hacking. We are going to see through different types of Android hacking, phone hacking, so there, and a little bit about the darknet. Okay. So moving into this keylogger, this is the first cybercrime I have attended in the year of 2006. This is the basic thing, but till now it is going very well. So in 2000, 2002, 2003, 2005 and all, most of the people don't have a personal computer. We all depend on cyber cafe. So when we go to cyber cafe, we are using the common system. Okay, everybody will come and use the system and go. So there, the cyber criminals get into that, and they use some technology to gather all your information. Okay, that is called keylogger. So this is the simplest method, but till now there are a lot of places they are using where the shared computer or cafe kind of thing. Cafe is not very less nowadays, but still the office computer or common places where they are keeping some kiosk kind of thing they can use. So the modus operandi is like this. There is two types of keyloggers are there: hardware keylogger and software keylogger. The hardware keylogger works like a storage space. Like you can see here, there is a pen drive kind of thing is connected before that cable. Okay, that is actually keyboard cable. So whatever keystroke you are using here, that will be stored inside this device, and the hacker will remove that and he can download it. So when you enter into some common systems, you will tend to type all the information, not only your communication issues. You type everything in there, like you type your email ID, password, and what are the messages you are typing. Everything will be stored. This is called hardware keylogger, and once it is downloaded to some computers, they can read all the things. Even you give any backspace, if you deleted anything, everything will show that. Okay. Another thing is the software keylogger. This is actually can be installed through sending by links, sending by any mails. They can download that. So this keylogger works like a spy inside our computer. Automatically, this will send. If the hacker can set a time within 1 year, 1 hour, 2 hour, 5 hour, anything. So every 1 hour this will send, or even if 15 minutes this will send the whatever keystrokes they have typed in this particular computer. So whatever you are doing here, whatever keystroke you are touching here will be sent to the hacker. So now they see the typical scenario. You are going to some railway station. There is a kiosk is set up. They say it is free, and you started using that system. So if there is anybody is fixed this keylogger software inside the system, you will be become victim. Likewise, you are going to an office and your colleague is fixed this keylogger there, your information can be seen by him. Or if you are using some, what do you call, some friends or friends laptop or system, they can fix some keylogger when they can give it to somebody else. So always be careful when there is some keylogger or physical keylogger fixed in the system. Another one is called a laptop keylogger. When you give your laptop for service, if the service center is not a genuine one, they can also fix it. That is a permanent one. Nobody can't remove it. You will not open and check whether it is there or not. Okay. So these are the risk factors are there when you give your system to service. So how can you protect from this? Okay. Never ever give your system to somebody else without your knowledge, because I have done this once before I come into this field. I think in the 2006 or 7, one of my friend bought a second-hand laptop and came to me and showed to me. I wanted to check whether he is working properly or not. He was my friend, only my colleague also. So I within 5 minutes, sitting in front of him, I just fixed the keylogger in his system, and I told after 2 days. Okay, so this is very simple. Connecting a pen drive and downloading the software and run that, then it will be in the stealth mode. Even you go and search in the applications, it won't come up. Even if it comes, it will show some Wi-Fi or some Bluetooth things like this. Okay, so use an anti-keylogger for your protection. And system, if you are using any good antivirus, it will catch it. If you are using original Windows software, it will catch it. And use a firewall, and you can also use a webcam protection, because most of the apps now come with webcam permission. Okay, so always my people used to put a sticker on top of the webcam, so that whether it is if somebody hacked it, they cannot see what we are doing here. So next I am moving into phishing. Let me check it. Any comments or anything has come? Okay, I think it's audible. If anybody can't hear me, please put a message in the chat so that I can see that. I don't know how many of are there because there is no count is showing here. If anyone can tell me how many of there are logged in, it is good.
Yeah, sir. Now 50 members are there, sir. 50 members are there.
Okay, okay, then good. So I will continue. So let them come to join. If you have any doubts, you can ask them to type.
Okay, sir. In chat section.
Okay, last 15 minutes I will give especially for the doubt clearing. By the time they can put their what do you call questions here. Okay, so I'll continue with the PPT. Thank you. Right. Okay, next we are moving into another way of hacking. Is called phishing. Okay, phishing is one of the simplest way. They are using a lot of social engineering techniques. Okay, so that's what I said in the beginning. Hackers are very smart because they always check your entire credentials in the social media. So now we are using a lot of personal informations in the social media. With the help of that, they can track you very well, and they use that information to hack you through the phishing. So they want to take some information like your email ID, password, or any information you are having inside your system, or your phone can be used, can be taken by using this phishing method. Okay. So for example, I can show you a lot of tools are there. Okay, I'm not going to teach you this tool how it works, because that is, if you are using for some criminal purpose, and that will be bad for me. Okay, so you should find out how the phishing attacks are coming. Okay, so nowadays you might be receiving a lot of mails from banks, government authorities, universities. As a student, you may be receiving these kind of things. So, for example, if you are even from Gmail or from Facebook, they use the same what you call same page. Okay, you can't find out what is, there is no difference between that original Facebook page or a duplicate Facebook page. So when you are logging into your system or getting into your mail, you will get a mail from different banks or different social media accounts saying that somebody is trying to get into your system, get into your mail ID, or get into your banking site, get into your account details. So you just change your password or get so what will happen? We'll say IO, my data are compromised. So we will try to save it. So nobody will read the URL. 99% of people, even sometimes I don't read. I will be panicked. Then only I will see. So when we see the URL, for example, I'll tell you if it is facebook.com, FACEBOOK.com. Sometimes it will look like same, but it will return in the URL Facebook or Facebook dot something then .com. So when it ended with Facebook.com, then only it is Facebook.com. Likewise, if it is if you are receiving a mail from a bank, for example ICICI Bank, the site will be 1c1c1.com. Okay, so they are using the same front page or same what do you call the design, the structure, everything same. That is actually they are copying from that. Okay, different tools are using. Okay, and same way phishing is also used another two ways: smishing and wishing. So they are sending SMS stating that it is coming from a bank, coming from a government authority. Okay, so likewise calls. Nowadays we are getting a lot of calls from the banks and government authorities asking for the details. Okay, this is all coming under phishing only. So these are the tools we are currently it's working. That's what I'm showing. This is all the custom tools. We can create any kind of pages. If you want to create a page in Instagram, if you want to create a page in Facebook or any social media account, you can create by using this EagleSight tool, and this can be sent through the mail, sent through the messenger, mail, any messenger. Okay, so when you receive, you have to check whether it is genuine or not. Okay, so this is actually a tool for EagleSight SMS phishing. Okay, so suppose I know your number, I can send a message from your number. If I know your principal number or email ID, I can send a mail from that. Okay, in this way they are actually doing a lot of hacking things. So practically how it happened, when somebody is getting a message from his father or mother who are residing some other state or some other country, and they say I am in trouble. The practical situation I am telling you. They say I am in trouble. I met with an accident. I am in hospital. Immediately send some money to my friend's account. So by the time this guy may not be available over phone due to some other reason. For example, now I am sitting in front of you. Another 1.5 hours I will be here only. Okay. So I will not attend my messages. I will not attend my call. So by knowing the situation, if somebody is sending a message to my family member stating that I am in trouble, okay, immediately he sends some money. He is far away. So the hackers are actually very, very smart. They know where you are, what you are doing, because we are sharing everything on social media, and anyone can track you by using your mobile's data. So in this situation, what will happen? These people will tend to pay the money by seeing this message or even by call. Okay. So if you are getting such a message or mail or a call from somebody, they are asking for money or they are asking for some favor, you just confirm with them. Suppose you are getting a mail from your principal that you have been suspended for 1 week, you just call the principal, sir, why you suspended me? Like that you should ask. Okay. So anybody can send a phishing attack through email, through SMS and through voice also. So this is a Wi-Fi phisher. So if you are in the same Wi-Fi in same network, then it is easy to phishing that we call it the man-in-the-middle attack. Okay. So using Wi-Fi of our same network. So how we can protect from the wireless attack? That is the important thing you should learn. Okay. So always change the access point default admin password. Normally when we install our Wi-Fi modem, what will happen? We never change. 90% of people never change the admin password. That will be the same. So and disable the broadcast SSID function in the access point. Employ MAC ID filtering. Suppose if you are having 4 people at home and 2 systems, so you just filter the MAC ID of the particular system. So nobody can from outside cannot attack your wireless unless otherwise you allow. Then disable DHCP assign static IP addresses. Okay. And then you do the penetration test regularly if you know. Okay. Because nowadays a lot of Wi-Fi hacking attacks are happening. Okay. So if you are staying in a flat, 10-15 Wi-Fi's are available. So people tend to hack into their. So this is not only taking the data, not only taking their free connection, but they can take the information also who are connected to the same Wi-Fi. Okay. And never ever use the open Wi-Fi. Now railway stations and a lot of public places they offer free Wi-Fi. Okay, in railway station, I'll give you a typical example. One of my student has done this when he was traveling to Chennai. Okay, he actually stayed Chennai railway station. Then he created one Wi-Fi using his Geo dongle. Railware 1, 2, 3, like that he put something Railware 4. And around 16 people logged in this particular Wi-Fi connection, and he taken all their email ID and password. So this is the easiest way. That's what we insist you never use open Wi-Fi. If you are using your open Wi-Fi, never use anything personal. Okay. Just suppose if you are traveling to some country, there you will not get any phone immediately. So there they provide a free Wi-Fi in the airport. There you can see just for sending a message, yeah, reached home safely, or this kind of message. If you are entering into your banking site, if you are entering into your email account, you are entering into your personal details, then that will be open to that particular person who use this hacking technique. Okay. So again, the same way, the spoofing also another attack used by several hackers. So this is impersonation. Suppose my name, my phone number. Tomorrow somebody is making a call by saying that is me. Okay. So for example, if you are getting a call from your friend, okay, and they are saying in their voice, because a lot of Chinese phones are available. Suppose you just read somebody's, or you just put the input their voice, whatever you speak, that will come in their voice. That means male, female. Suppose I'm a male, I can speak in a female voice. Okay. So the spoofing people are using different this kind of Chinese for spreading. And that will be host to some attack, and they can bypass the controls also. Okay. This is actually this MQ mailer is not working currently. That's what I'm showing you. Suppose you want to send a mail from your friend's email ID, you can give their email ID first, then your email ID second, then the two email ID. Whatever type you can type, they can send. When they receive the mail, it will show that you receive the mail from the particular person. For example, you are receiving a mail from your college authority, maybe it's sent by one of your friends. Okay, this is all for pranking purpose only, but these people are actually sending purposefully. For example, a lot of mails sent to some government officials. Recently, they have reported, and even they have taken action also. That means not criminal, I mean punishment. Suppose a person sending a mail to promote a person. This has happened here. Higher authority send a mail. So please include this guy also for the promotion list. So the subordinate, he shows, he came through the mail and he thought it's really sent by his boss, and he promoted that also. But after promotion, he came to know how he came into the, it happened in the government side. How it happened there. Then only they check this is sent by the using spoofing mail. So when you receive a mail, you just check it with the person whether it is a genuine or not. Okay. Caller ID spoofing is there. Earlier it was paid one, around 60, around $1 per minute. Now it is free. Okay, especially I just removed that top name of the tool. Okay, so here you can enter the number from which number you want to make a call, then your number. Okay, when you make a call, the person received the intended number. That means which the fake number you are given, that will go to the particular person. So these kind of calls are coming nowadays, but we call it Nigerian hams, Nigerian scam. So these people are actually using our social media account information from there, because when we put our social media, we mention our brother, sister, father, mother, and all. And in their Facebook page, they might have given their email ID and so by finding their phone number, they can make a call from their number to you. So when you receive an ID, shows that you are getting a call from your father, call from your friend, call from your teacher, like that. So if you have a doubt, if suppose somebody, your father is calling and you can find his voice is different, or they can also use some other issue. The same thing happened here. One person make a call from particular number and told that your father had met with an accident. I am using his phone to make a call. But actually, it was a prank call. Okay, and they asked them to come to the hospital, and he told he is in the ICU, and we paid this much money for admission, and he has taken, he's taken some money from it. So these kind of things are happening. So you have to reconfirm with calling back or confirming with the neighbors or friends. Okay, so this is a way caller ID spoofing is there. And also this is IP and MAC ID spoofing. So this is basically for doing some crime. They are using these techniques. Suppose when I am using this computer for doing some crime, okay, even I am using a fake email ID, fake everything fake. They can track me by using my MAC ID and IP. Okay, so if I am spoofing this IP address as well as the MAC ID, it is very difficult for finding out me. But they can find out, but it's a little difficult because they can use our ISP, our service providers help. So by that way, they can also get the information, the particular time which connection was entered in the particular IP address. Okay. So this is a way they are doing a lot of spoofing things. So how it is happening currently, you will come to know, because now we all this COVID pandemic, what do you call, fear. So in this time, our parents, our friends, our relatives are in different places. So okay, so they use this spoofing technique by sending messages, by sending mails, by making calls, they can extract money from you or help from you. Okay, so this is happening continuously across the world, not only in India or a particular region. Everywhere it is happening. This is a common way to do a cyber crime. So there also we can again we can use our spam filter for protecting your and suppose we are getting no, recently it's happening here in on college. Actually, some student sent a mail to some higher authority. That means some what do you call NAC or some approving authority from a principal's phone mail ID, but it's a fake one. So we can find out. Earlier it was very easy. Now it is difficult to find out header and footer detail. So we can find out if you are using a Gmail. Suppose you receive a mail, and if you are having a doubt, you can check the mail details. Okay, you can click in the bottom. There is a show detail. Show details will be there. You click on that. There will be one page with one pop-up will come. There you can see the senders and the receivers IP address. Okay, and sender's IP address, you can take it and check it on any IP find sites. It will show if they are not using spoofed IP again. Okay, like that you can make a network firewall for secure your IP address and the MAC address. So now we are moving into a ransomware attack. Okay, so here the ransomware attack is one of the what we call in 2017 or 16, it almost entire world has been attacked by one particular name. You can remember this, that is called WannaCry. We call WannaCry outbreak. Okay, so the hackers will spread the malware through mail, and it will spread through the network also. So when somebody receive a particular by this ransomware mail, once they open, it will get automatically downloaded. If you are opening any link or any files, okay, it will be hidden inside. Then this will be downloaded to a particular system, and this also spread to other systems connected in the same network. Okay, so what will happen? Once this is downloaded, this will lock the computer, and it will show messages like this. In these messages, it's very clear. They will show your computer has been locked, and all the documents, everything is locked, but is not destroyed. Okay, and they will give time. Normally, they will give 24 or 48 hours time. Okay, other than 2 days time, and they ask you to pay in any kind of what do you call Bitcoin kind of in cryptocurrency. Most of the people are using Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency because that is very famous when the ransomware came. Because after the ransomware, Bitcoin has drastically gone up. Because when I came to know several years back, the Bitcoin was only 4,000 or 5,000 rupees, one Bitcoin. Now it is more than, I think, 3 or 5 lakh, 3.5 lakh earlier. Now it is again increased. I think it's between 4 to 5 lakh rupees, one Bitcoin. So they ask you to pay the Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency to unlock your computer. Otherwise, all the files which is stored inside this particular system will be destroyed. Okay, but you can ask me one thing: whether if you are paying, will you get the proper key to remove this thing? No. Most of the people are using this. We call it copycat. They all copy from somebody else and they spread to others. They don't have the decryption key with them, but they will keep on sending to other people. So we don't recommend them to pay. For that, what should you do? You have to make always backup, at least once in a week or once in 15 days. you do the backup of your all the files in an external hard disk or somewhere, then it will be safe. Okay, so anytime this may happen. So if you're opening some unwanted mails or attachments sent by unknown people, you very clearly you check it. Some of the antivirus will catch it. Okay, they will show that there is a risk, so you don't need to open it. Otherwise, it will take your information, not taking your, it will lock your information, your files and folders. Okay, so how they are using this is actually basically extract money from you. Okay, they are not going to destroy your data or taking your data for some other purpose. They will lock your computer, prevent normal usage. Only you can. They will provide a place to like check pay. What we call enter that key and check payment. All the options will be there. Then they decrypt. Then it will be open. So this, whenever you open your computer, this message will come. Okay. So once you make the payment, they provide the key to open this, decrypt the file, and open this computer. So don't fall in that, because most of the decryption keys are not working. Okay. So this happened from UK National Health Services to local panchayat office level. Okay, so you can ask how it is spreading. A person from some other country can hack your panchayat office, or your here happened in railway divisional office also. Okay, because this is getting copied, sent by other people. Okay, for the benefits of the money, they are all doing this kind of hacking techniques. So now we are moving into financial fraud. So financial fraud in the sense, we used to know what you call ATM fraud or OTP fraud, or what do you call banking fraud. Now the people are very smart. The hackers are very smart. They are using different techniques, which has happened in Kerala, and I was part of that investigation team, so I'll share that experience. So most of the financial frauds are happening through the banking network and ATM, and taking your OTPs from your mobile phone, and online dating matrimonial scams also part of financial fraud. And recently the Amazon return fraud has happened. So I'll go through that. We'll see how that ATM hacking is happening. ATM card hacking is happening. So you can see normal ATM and the skimmer fitted ATM. So you could have seen where we are inserting the card. No, there will be a card slot will be there. Normal card slot will be like this. Nothing will be there. But when hacker is fixed something on top of the card slot, there something will be on the device. So we call it skimmer. Okay. So when the card goes through the skimmer, it will take all the information stored in the card. Okay. And once we finish our transaction, everything over the ATM machine, they will come back. The hacker will come and remove it, and they can take all your information. So normally different types of this is there, what you call ATM machines are there. So this is one type of ATM machine. So that the green color you have seen some SBI banks are using this kind of thing earlier. So they will fix the green color skimmer on top of the original one. So when the card goes through that, it will take the information stored in the device. And they also need a PIN number. For that, they use normally a small camera on top of it, or they can use a duplicate keypad on top of the original keypad. They keep the same kind of keypad, they will fix it. That is also receive your information, PIN typing PIN that will be stored. Then they will connect it to the computer, they will make a duplicate card, and they will take the money from your account. So this is the way ATM hacking is happening. So this is one of the cases happened in Trivandrum. Four Europeans, actually they all from Romania came to Trivandrum, they actually fixed a something. I'll explain it. So it is very near to the police headquarters and just 300-400 meters away from Rajpur. It's a very secured area. Who are using that particular ATM, they started losing their money. So every day it will keep on going. Every day 2-3 cases come. So they check the ATM and they didn't find anything. Only thing they find is there is a camera fitted on that smoke detector. They remove the smoke detector cover and they fix the camera. So the police officer who investigated the case, he told only the camera is there, but how can there is no skimmer fitted on that, but the money keep on going from the particular ATM who are using the particular ATM earlier. So when we investigated, we found they are very smart. Not like this, the first time happened in India and second time in the world. So these people fixed the Wi-Fi router on the ATM. So I am not going to tell you which bank it is. It's one of the biggest bank happened in Kerala. So they removed the RJ45 cable and connected to the Wi-Fi router. Then they connected to the socket. So normally what will happen? The IP address will change. So this server should not respond to the particular IP address because this ATM is configured with some particular IP address. When they change the router, when they remove the cable, that will be noted one thing. Second thing, that should be informed to the authority. Okay. Third thing, when the IP address has changed, the machine should not work. That should be shut down. This is not happened. The machine was working. Everybody is using the ATM. So they get into the server level. Okay, so these people came from Romania not for taking this 10,000 or 50,000 rupees. They want to take all the information about the stored in the server in the database. That time, that particular bank has changed their debit card and credit card. No, not credit card, debit card and ATM cards. Around I think 65 lakh ATM card they have changed. So this hacking happened in Kerala, Trivandrum, and one of the person, I think you can see in the picture, this guy, white guy, has been arrested and he is in the jail. So this is actually a high-tech robbery happened in Kerala. So these are the way the hackers are thinking in different ways. In normal banking, earlier we have seen how it is happening. Then another attack I will explain, that is a man-in-the-middle attack on the bank side. So normally big corporates never go to the bank and pay the payment. You know that. They have some system, then formatted the mail. They will send the mail to the senior manager to the senior manager accountant to the manager, bank manager. So once the bank receives the mail, they will credit. They will actually they have some system. Okay, they will do the payment earlier. So what happened here? The bank is sending the client, that means the corporate office is sending every day 3, 4, 5, 6 payment to the bank. They will make the payment. One day the bank manager and the corporate office manager spoke over phone. They said today we received 7 mails, we have done. But the manager told, oh, we sent only 5 mails. Then when they checked, instead of 5 mails, 7 mails has been received by the bank and they made the payment. So somebody using their email ID and their format and they are sending this mail to the bank and bank is actually making the payment. This is what we understood and we started investigating. I was part of the investigating team, heading the team. So we found initially this guy actually hacked their system, and when the mail is sent by the client, this mail is actually modified. Okay, using the man-in-the-middle attack. Suppose I am paying to Mr. A, this guy entered into that and he changed the person's bank details, corporate details, and some other account it will go. So first initially 3-4 days it is going like this, and the fourth day he started creating mails. Then only they have noticed. The bank and the client has noticed, and they actually complain. So this is actually done by our North Indian team. Okay, we found them. They are in now they are in jail. So this is the way the hackers are thinking very smartly. Okay, without the actually we initially we suspect some internal people in staff or ex-staff are doing, but completely this is actually done by the external people. But they actually use only one person's mobile number for receiving the OTP when they are doing this thing. So in that way, we got the culprit. Okay, this is called man in the middle attack. So this may happen anywhere. It not only banking side. It may happen to any government office, any hospital level, or any university level. They can do. Okay. If you are giving, suppose I am not doing any practical here because we don't have time. Normally, I do this kind of workshop with the practical one. When I do this one, the background, the practical things will be done, so that you can learn that also. And this is another way of financial scam. Okay, several people fall in that, especially on dating and matrimonial sites. Okay, several experience I have personally. People come to me with a complaint when I was deputy commander in Kerala Police. Once a lady came to my office, the same office, and told that, sir, somebody is threatening her for paying some money. I said, why? Why they are threatening you? They said, he is my friend in some site, some website, through some dating site, we become a friend. And she is a married girl, and they become very good friends. And finally, he sent some gift to her. It's a typical scenario. You can also imagine somebody is actually become friend in online social media, and they are sending a gift, means most of the people will accept. But what happened? This gift is sent from UK. He's a very handsome guy. He sent a gift from UK, and the gift reached Delhi. And in Delhi, customs called this lady, and they said they asked to pay 22,500 rupees. Still, I remember the amount for receiving the gift, because they have to pay something they said, customs clearance charge something. And this lady doesn't have money, so she informed him, I don't have money. And then he sent another photo. Inside that gift, there is a gold jewelry and some costly things are there, cosmetics and all. But still, she doesn't have money. That's what she didn't pay. And finally, when she turned against him, then he started threatening her, because they had a video call and all. So some sleazy way. And she threatened her, if you are not paying this money before today bank time, I will share your pictures on online. Means his husband FB, Facebook page. So she was crying, and I get into that, and I just we tracked him, and actually this is an organized crime. Okay, happening. 3 cases has come. This lady didn't pay anything. Another lady paid around 4.5 lakh, because people are actually, when they are getting something free, mean they will fall in that. They go behind that. So the same way, the same case, the same team has tagged one lady, and she paid 4.5 lakh. Initially started with 22,500 rupees. After that, the customs again called. They said, madam, we received the money, but when we scanned the parcel, we found inside a lot of cash is there. So we cannot send money through courier, right? So they found some cash. So this lady called this guy again in UK and asked what happened. He said, yeah, I kept 10,000 pound. So 10,000 pound means almost 8 lakh rupees. And this Delhi customs people, customs clearance people, not customs people, customs clearance agents are there. They used to do this kind of thing. So they called and they said, okay, you pay 2 lakh rupees so that you can take this money. So like that, up to 4.5 lakh she paid. So this is all happening in the dating side. And again, when I come to the matrimonial side, around 60% of matrimonial earlier, not now. Earlier, I have found one study are fake. Okay, if a boy is putting some good picture, good profile, a lot of girls fall into that. Then they'll have a discussion chat because you all girls I know. So when some boy, good-looking boys comes for a matrimonial proposal, please confirm personally. Okay, lot of cases. Recently, I have seen one person from Kanyakumari. He is having more than 15, 20 girlfriends in Chennai and across in Tamil Nadu. And he's actually, he shows that he is a model. He is actually going to act in movie. So they fall into that. A lot of money he extracted by showing their photos because he is always with him. So these kind of things are happening in matrimonial sites. Okay, once you compromise to your dignity, then they will uh, what do you call suck money from your account. So because a lot of personal information will be shared when we are talking, when we are chatting with these kind of people. So always you be a suspect, like what do you call? Always you have to suspect everyone who is actually coming and doing any favor or showing a lot of love and affection. So always keep eye on that way. So these classified advertisements are coming in online. Okay. So in that, what will happen? These people are actually fake people. Okay. Okay, a lot of this is actually all girls will not fall into that, especially for boys. I used to tell that a lot of these dating sites or classified sites they give a lot of what do you call services. In the services, these people never get any services, but they will take only the money. And next to that, I'll show this latest Amazon return scam. 3-4 cases reported in last December 2019 December. 3 cases, one from Bangalore, one from Tamil Nadu, one in Kerala. In that cases, normally when we do the return, when we are not satisfied with the product, we used to return, right? So when the person came and take the return, these people actually get the information. So now whatever we do in our system, that Google and all big giants are sharing our information to others. Okay, so these people take the information and with the return information, you will get a call from Amazon. When you receive a call from your phone, it will show your, if you are using your Truecaller, it show Amazon return. Okay, you will get a call. The person, the lady will talk very nicely. Sir, okay, we have taken your product back. So we are going to make the payment in your account, which you pay through your credit card. Normally we make payment through credit card. Now very less people use the cash on delivery. So when we do this payment return thing, they will ask you to pay through any of the your payment gateway. Then they will ask you, suppose you are using any Google Pay or any PayPal or any kind of thing, they'll ask for the OTP. Okay. Once you give the OTP, your entire money will go. This has happened to a highly qualified people. One person is in the Bangalore guy who works in a IT company. He is a senior person in IT. He lost almost 90,000 rupees in a single day through the Amazon return scam. So when never ever give your PIN numbers. That means when you are using your Google Pay or anything, you have fixed the PIN. No, only the PIN number is required when you are paying. For receiving, no need of giving your PIN number to anyone. So make it very clear. Only for paying, you should give your PIN number. That also only you have to type in your payment gateway, not to give it to anyone. Same way, when you are receiving a PIN, when receiving a money, no need of PIN or anything, any authentication is required. Okay, so always be alert when this kind of, not only Amazon return, when somebody is going to pay you money, if they are asking for your PIN number to take the money in your account or your payment gateway or your any app you are using for the payment app, not required. Okay. So next one is we call it a salami attack that is happening now in this pandemic situation. People are started showing that sympathy, and now we all sympathizer now because a lot of people are suffering from the disease, suffering. Poor people are not getting food. People are not getting what do you call travel assistance and all. So these people are started collecting. I can remember one movie dialogue from I think Onion. ஒரு ரூபா திருடுனா தப்பு இல்லை, ஆனா 5 கோடி பேருக்கு 100 ரூபா திருடுனா அது பெரிய தப்பு இல்லையா? Like that one dialogue is there. This is like that. So they attack more number of people, okay, like lakhs and lakhs of people for a small amount. Actually, earlier it was happening in the banking side. So when they got the banking database, they will actually take small amount, 8 rupees, 12 rupees and all from an account. We never noticed and we never asked the bank, why you taken this 8 rupees from my account? Okay, we actually we will forget. But 8 rupees or 10 rupees into lakhs of or crores of people they attack. So this money will be high. 5 கோடி பேர்ல 1 ரூபாய் எடுத்தா what will happen? It will become 5 crore. Okay, but we lose only 1 rupee. So these all called salami slicing attack. So in this situation, it is happening. I have seen a lot of messages goes through the social media, ask them to pay a small amount of rupees, even 100 rupees, 50 rupees and all. So this is all fake thing. If you want to pay anything to these people directly, you can pay to the Chief Minister Fund or Prime Minister Fund. No need to pay to the particular person's account at all. So this everyday we can see this kind of thing. And now we are moving into hacking your health. Okay, now we are very concerned about our health. So we are afraid to go to hospitals also. But people are very smart. They can hack your health also. So I have done a study in one of the biggest hospitals in Kerala. We found that if you want to kill somebody, it is very easy when you are hacking into their medical records. Okay, when I found, suppose I am going to a particular hospital, and the hospital system, you know that from reception to pharmacy, lot of checkpoints are there. There is a reception, and then your consultation, then medical test, then what do you call pharmacy, medical medicine, everything is there. So these all now most of the biggest hospitals are what do you call digitalized. Okay, we don't carry any medical records nowadays. Earlier, when we go to hospital, we bring a big bag of complete reports. Now everything we carry only one hospital card. So when you show the card, all the details are available in the online. So previous your test, previous your what do you call reports, everything is there. So if a hacker get into your system, get into the hospital system, and he changed any value, that means suppose I have a high BP and he changed into low BP, the doctor will give a wrong medicine. Likewise, any report will be modified, the hacker, this patient will die, right? They will give a wrong medicine. Likewise, if any test report they have modified, they can get the wrong medicine. Even the pharmacy system, they get into the pharmacy system and they have changed the values of the particular patient, or they change the prescription of the particular doctor, they can. So here hospitals are now getting into more cyber security enabled institutions. Okay, not all the hospitals. Few hospitals are very vulnerable. Okay, from outside somebody can hack the patient also directly. So even they can increase the temperature of the ICU. They can change this gases they are using for operations, or they can do that. And now they are using smart bed, right? They can increase, decrease, even the temperature. They can flip the cot. So these are the things are all internet connected. Okay, so IoT is playing a major role on the hospital management, not only hospital, everywhere. But when the hacker get into the system, they can control entire thing. Even they can kill a patient also. Okay, so when even recently, not recently, in 2018, one major company who produces the device that what you call pulse devices. They have recalled around 50,000 this thing because that was vulnerable. A hacker can from outside he can hack the person's heart. This is actually I don't know 100% right or not. It is reported. Okay, because the pacemaker is having some communication with the external device. So that is actually machine, no? So suppose when we are giving more more power or more electricity through the same frequency, same wavelength, that will affect. So it is easy to kill a patient who has fixed a pacemaker in his heart. So now our life is also very danger in front of the cyber attacks. Okay. So don't panic, but we should be very careful. We should be very alert when the cyber attacks are around us. When I'm sitting in here, I can feel some cyber attacks outside. So now we are moving into the another world of cyber security. You maybe heard about the dark net and or deep web. Okay, so lot of criminal activity happening in the dark web only. So you can see ice mountain, ice mountain is there. So up to the above level, the surface, we call it surface web. That is only 15, just 10 to 15% of the total internet world. Then another 30 to 40% is deep web, another 30% is dark web. The surface web only we are actually using. Okay, whatever we are searching in Google, Yahoo, all the information available freely when you are searching your Google, it is called surface web. Okay, then we come to the deep web. In deep web, there is a information that is available only for the required people. For example, a lot of medical records are there that is not available freely to everyone. Okay, that is only available for the particular people. A lot of financial records, legal documents, all are there, and research papers. Okay, this is available only for the approved people. Okay, so especially academic database, medical records, financial records, scientific records, everything is stored in a deep web only that you can access only through the proper way. Next, we are moving into the danger side, that is called a dark web. Okay, there all the negative things, okay, evil things are happening in the dark web. So basically, the dark web is used by the Tor network. We call it the onion router. So you know that onion, no? When you remove you peel everything, nothing will be there inside, right? So like that only, when you cannot find out where it is coming from. Okay. So in the onion router or the Tor or the dark web, all the negative things are available. Suppose whatever prohibited legally is available in dark web. Okay, so all the drug trafficking, illegal things, weapon. If you want to buy a weapon, AK-47 or any gun, there is available darknet. Okay, they will do the home delivery. Okay, and child pornography. Okay, so when I want to sell something negative, also I can sell in dark web. They will buy. So here only you should be very careful when you are actually being attacked by any kind of cyber thing. This will be go to the dark web because you cannot sell directly to the deep or surface. Okay, this is another world of cyber side. Okay, negative side of the cyber world. So here a lot of things you can see, which is all banned across the world, like drugs, banned things, weapons. Okay, you can see the price, everything very low. Okay, now we are moving into Facebook hacking techniques. So this is the 10 ways hackers are doing Facebook. This is issued by the Facebook authority only. So most of the things we have seen in the previous slide, there is the same thing is here. So every day minimum 7 to 8 cases are reported. That means my account has been hacked. My Facebook account has been hacked. So if you are protecting these things, you can also get saved. So phishing. So already we have seen somebody sending a phishing page stating that this is a Facebook sending to you, and they'll ask you to type an email and password. That email and password will go to the hacker, and he will use your Facebook credential to open it. Okay, this is one of the way. So when you see the same Facebook page, you just go and read whether it is Facebook or Facebook or some other thing. Then stealers. So when you are using password manager, suppose normally 80% of people store the password in their own personal computer. Okay. So by using the stealers, when they are in the same network, they can take all the stored password. Actually, I will suggest you 100% you don't store, 100% you don't type. Are you confused? No. See, suppose if you are using a keylogger, whenever we are typing a password, that will go to the hacker. Okay. When you are using stored password, we store the password, so we don't need to type it, so that the keylogger will not take. But again, the problem is hacker. If you are using a password manager, he can take. So half password you store it in your personal computer, half password you type it. Okay, I'll come through the password security later. 1 second, let me check it. Okay. Right. So never ever store completely. Same time, never ever type completely in your personal computer, so that when somebody is using this technique, they can take not only Facebook password, they can take all the password which is stored in your personal computer. That this is called sidejacking or fireship. So when you are the same network, for example, if you are using a common network in your college or in your organization office, a hacker can sidejacking. Okay, this is called sidejacking. They can use the same wireless public network. He can hack the data. So when you are using a public network, never ever use your personal credentials on that. Then mobile phone hacking. So once the mobile phone is hacked, everything is gone, right? So at least when in system, we never store all the things. Only our mail IDs are there, and our Facebook IDs are there. But in phone, everything is there, right? Like that, when they hack your phone, they can also get your information from Facebook data. And USB hacking, this is actually programmed USB. The earlier I told you, when they can take all the stored password in that. This is a programmed USB. When you connect it, even don't need to log in the computer. You just connect the program USB on that. All the stored password will automatically extract from the browser. Okay, then hackers can use the password for using their purpose. So the man in the middle attack already told, this will happen only the same LAN, same network we have to be there. When there is a connection between the server and your system, the hacker gets into that and he can sniff the packeting. Okay, we call it sniffing, sniff the packet sharing. From that, they can take the your password of the Facebook. And botnet, these all commonly used the hacking things. This is actually when compromised system they are using. No, we call it as zombies. DNS spoofing we are not using at all. Okay. So now I am moving into another thing. How that phone hacking. Do you have any question? If you have any query, you can type here. Otherwise, I'll move into Android hacking, phone hacking. So Android hacking is used by two techniques. We call it RAT and mobile spyware. RAT is a remote administrative tool. It's a software that gives person full control of the device. Anyone can type me. Can you see me? Now it shows some C. Hello, are you there?
Hello, sir.
Okay, கேக்குதா உங்களுக்கு?
கேக்குதுங்க சார். சொல்லுங்க.
Okay. Actually, I got some sound. That's what I asked you.
Okay. Mobile sound, sir.
Okay,
Just
mute put. Okay, mute. Keep.
Sir, it is now the question session, sir, because 12 o'clock it is automatically cut off.
Okay. Then no problem.
You just ask the question, sir. Start the
Okay.
questions.
Okay. Already I asked them, but nobody is asking the questions.
Somebody is waiting to ask some questions.
Yeah, please ask them to shoot the questions.
அது யாரோ ஒருத்தங்க வெளில பண்றாங்க. அதுல யாராவது வருவாங்களா தெரியலையே. சாட்ல போடுங்க.
அவங்க ஹேண்ட் ரைஸ் பண்ணாங்க. அவங்க
ஹலோ சார், இப்போ நம்ம போட்டோம்.
யாரும் இல்லை. Any questions in there?
Questions.
Sorry, the platform is open, but now nobody asks questions. Sorry, okay, live. No one is coming.
Only one person is ready to ask some questions, but he is not in online.
Okay. Somebody saying everything is fine, you can proceed. Yeah, then I'll proceed.
Okay. So only 5 minutes more, sir. Only 10 minutes more.
Okay.
So before 5 minutes, you just finally give the conclusion and wind up.
Okay.
Sir.
If they don't have any question, I will go to the next level. That means a lot of people are asking, whenever I go to the colleges, universities for taking classes, they're asking how I can be a cyber expert in a professional way. Okay. To become a professional in the cyber space. Till now we have seen security aspects of the cyber side. Now I wanted to tell you how you become a cyber expert. You start a career in that.
The question கேக்குறப்ப போட்டுறாங்க உங்களுக்கு.
அது போட்டுடுங்க.
கேக்குறீங்களா?
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, in this scenario, COVID-19, do you find it because in our college itself, one of the staff member, she received one mail saying that I am affected by COVID-19, so kindly send some amount to my account. So immediately she responded and she sent the amount also. After that only she found out that it is a fake message.
Okay.
So how we are facing this much of this type of problem, sir?
Yeah, same thing I have explained some time back. I think you are not listened. Actually, several people are doing the same thing. We call it a salami attack. They send the messages and mails to thousands of hundreds of people. Okay, but the amount will be small. They'll say some people standard somewhere, this kind of 100 people are not having food, so send some money and all. So never ever pay any money directly to these kind of people. If you want to pay directly, you pay to the chief minister fund or prime minister fund and all, because we cannot trust anyone. Sometimes definitely somebody is actually in trouble, but if you know personally, you can help. Okay, so I told them in Salami attack, it is not only in the COVID time, it always is happening. Some people are met with accident, some
So
people
we
are
should
not.
be cautious in these type of problems.
Yes, yes.
That is the only solution.
Today, I told you, today morning when I start the session, today morning I got a message from one of my friends. He's actually Guinness World Record director. He said government is going to pay 1,20,000 rupees who worked, the people who worked between 1990 and 2020, and they given a link like this. Okay. So when I press the link, I found that this is actually taking me to some game site. Not only game site, it will, I cannot go back. Then I force stop it. So these kind of things are happening. A lot of people are putting with the Android session. Somebody want to do Android session, but I can do that. But the problem is 12 o'clock this will shut down. A man is saying, sir, when we use public Wi-Fi, what type of precaution we should take? For when using a public Wi-Fi, never use your personal thing, Niveda. See, somebody, suppose a hacker is in the same Wi-Fi, he can also take information from your system. Okay. Never use for a personal purpose. And Shivakumar, when we download your mobile app, it is requesting allow the access our data. Is there any way to avoid the permission access? Yeah, lot of apps coming with a lot of access and permission. Okay, for that, Shivakumar, you just give only the required permission. Don't give yes to all. Okay, you go to that and select whatever permission you have to give. For example, if it is a flashlight need only a software connection or hardware to software connecting application. That is, if asking for contact or location or data, never use that. And lot of fake applications are running. Likewise, if you are using Facebook Lite, if somebody is sending this is good, this is very fast, this will consume very less amount of net, mean you just they can add some 5 MB, 7 MB files, and that will work as a spyware. And yeah, okay, I was talking about how can you become an expert in this field. Okay, see, by knowing now recently we have tied up with National Cyber Defense Resource Center to start a cyber security courses in your universities and colleges. Okay, by knowing little bit technology, or I am BE computer science or ME cyber security, they are not actually up to the mark, because last 10 years I am in the field of cyber security education. More than thousands of people passed out from my institution and working in big companies. See, you have to study thoroughly. Okay, not only one technology will not help you, because when the situation changes, different types of attacks, different types of requirement will come. So when you study from the basics, then you move to data security, study desktop security, server security, network security, web security, communication security. All securities are separate. You have to study when you want to become a cyber expert. And simultaneously, you need to become an ethical hacker, because when you know hacking, then only you can protect. So we always say to be a good police officer, you should think like a thief. So to catch the criminal, to think like a criminal, then only you can do a better security person. Okay. So when you study thoroughly, you can whenever the situation, whenever these kind of job losses are happening, we can move into different domain. So now we can understand only the IT industry running in this COVID time. All other industries shut down. Okay, 90% of or 80% of IT people are working from home, and IT industry is still running without any major loss. Okay, that's what now we are actually communicating, right? So if you are IT graduate or a computer science graduate, You separately one 6 month or 1 year you study cybersecurity courses, which actually through NCDRC your college we can do that 6 month or 1 year program, so that you will become expert in that, so that you can start working in the field of cybersecurity, which is having a tremendously high requirement. Now itself more than 5.5 lakh vacancies are in India. Maybe after the COVID pandemic situation, it will go up also, because every industry, not only the IT industry, every industry required cybersecurity support. Okay. Any more? If you have any more thing, can do. Yeah, if Roshni, if your phone is getting hacked, you will lose everything, because everything is stored in the phone. But when you download such a thing, you make sure you are actually checking twice or thrice. Okay, whether it is, I'll tell you some this picture photo apps, no camera apps are working as a malware. Okay, I think B612 was sharing earlier. Somebody can attach some malware along with that and send to you, so that when you use that particular application, that will hack all the details. That's why when I was about to go to the mobile hacking, so there that is a major thing everyone used to ask. Yeah, if your mobile is hacked, all the login emails and the logged in accounts will be hacked. So make sure you keep your mobile secure always. Okay, never ever give it to even your friends. Okay, most of your friends are the biggest hackers. Okay, not other. And never ever give your phone for service. Service in the sense, when you give it to service center, unauthorized service center, they will take all your information. They will sell it to the darknet. Okay, and if the phone is hacked, all your cameras are open. You just imagine that is the third eye. Okay, that was I am supposed to go to the next slides, but already time is only 2 minutes left. So if you give opportunity in your college, I'll definitely come and do the live demo of all those things which we have discussed today, as well as mobile hacking. Because I'll tell one thing: this is not a mobile. This is actually a bomb which we are carrying in pocket. Okay, which take all your information, how, where I am, what I am doing. Even my phones have got hacked 1 or 2 times. Only my friends and my colleagues has done. Okay, so they can use the camera wherever you are. Okay, no need of any permission. The single phone, somebody using 2 WhatsApp, 2 Facebook, the same account. Yeah, they can use. That is the original only. Now 2 WhatsApp they can use. They can use the 2 Facebook. Yeah, it's WhatsApp. I know about Facebook. I didn't use. Any more questions? Only 1 minute left. So I'll give my contact. If you have any doubts or anything, you can contact me. You can check into this website also. We have a lot of information we'll be sharing. Thank you, Shivakumar.
Sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Our session is over, sir.
Okay.
Sir, thank you very much for accepting our invitations and your precious timings, and we got some valuable information, sir, and still we have so many doubts, sir, but after offline we will call you and
Okay, ma'am.
clear the doubts.
That is very less actually. If I am taking class, at least 1.5 hours is very less. At least 1-2 day workshop you arrange, definitely we will come and do in a practical session. Okay. That will be very good for your students. Okay.
Okay. Maybe in the month of July, can we do that, sir?
Yeah, sure, sure. We can
The
do.
students are most probably final year students, they'll come and attend the sessions. So if time permits, I'll contact you and we will conduct the session during July, sir.
If situations are okay and everything is good, means definitely we will come and
Yeah,
do that.
definitely. We are welcoming your suggestions also.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much, sir. Thank you so much.